Tom.
Hi, Joy.
You got some new news for us?
Well, just new news. We have some groups coming up this winter.
Oh, you're
and, to the Caribbean and Mexico is usually where we escort our groups. And we have a couple of big ones coming up in the Dominican Republic this year. Very popular destination, some of the best all-inclusives available anywhere. And the island is very diverse. So, we have to go see the hotels and check out the islands before we take a group there, and so that's going to be on the list this fall for us.
Well, what's interesting is that you mentioned the Dominican Republic. It's very new news that there's a nonstop from Lansing to Punta Cana on Fridays, which I think is really exciting. Those Punta Cana airfares out of Detroit are very expensive, and getting on and off in Lansing's the only way to fly.
Right.
Excuse the pun.
Right.
But that's one thing. But I think the other thing is that March the 3rd is the spring break for Michigan State University, and we do some offshore continuing education groups every year for the College of Osteopathic Medicine, and some of you have seen or will see Dr. Mary Jo Vopel. So I think what the College of Osteopathic Medicine is doing is becoming more, they're getting more exposure in the community. Mm-hmm. But for any medical students out there that would like to do a little networking or sit in on some great seminars, that is open to the public. So it's March the 3rd. You could travel with Tom and I escort those groups, and this time we're going over to La Romana, which is unique to Punta Cana.
Yes, well, the Dominican Republic's a big place, and it has a lot of diversity. Punta Cana is totally different from La Romana, and
it's very Italian.
Yes.
It's, there's a huge art community, and I hate to whiplash you here, Tom, but speaking of art,
yes.
What about the new Broad Art Museum here in East Lansing?
Well,
isn't that exciting?
It's
for art lovers?
Absolutely, and we've done a lot of art trips for Michigan State in the past, and we're very excited to
help with that.
Yeah.
And to have a great art center here in our community. Tom, what's your favorite art museum that we've ever been to?
Boy, that's a tough one, Joy. I liked that Reina Sofia in Madrid.
Yeah,
was
that's
one of my favorites.
Which happens to be a contemporary art museum,
right.
Which also the Broad Museum's going to be, and has Picasso and Goya. Yeah. And who were some of the other artists there? It was just used to be a hospital.
Miro,
Miro,
I tend to like contemporary art. That's my favorite.
Your personal
thing. Yes.
favorite.
And we've been to a lot of great museums in the world.
And of course, I think the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam is really special too, because of the way they have it.
Well, we've been there 3 or 4 times, I think. Every time we're going through Amsterdam, we try to make it over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I love, of course, the Guggenheim Museum in Venice. Is another one of my favorites.
The Sex Museum in Amsterdam, I take that back.
Oh, geez.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, that's your second favorite museum in the world. But in any case, Tom, art's really important in this community, and we just want to welcome back the art trip that we just did to Stratford. One of our staff escorted that trip. It's really unique because we've done it for years and years and years. It's the Friends of the Theater for Michigan State University, and it's a bus trip that lives right from East Lansing. They see 3 shows. Dr. Gotchberg goes. His wife's a piano player. He lectures on the way in and out. So next year's trip should be out soon.
Stratford, Ontario, by the way.
Stratford, Ontario.
Right.
Speaking of Ontario, though, now that we're kind of getting into that period of time that men are either watching football or maybe going on hunting trips, they're Niagara on the Lakes, which is right on Lake Ontario, where the Shaw Festival is held.
Right.
But there's also an unbelievable spa. I wanted to tell you this about this, Deborah, because it's only a short drive. If these guys are hunting or watching football, just jump in the car and go spa it for a few days. It's $299 per person per night, and it includes a 4-course meal, a 3-course lunch, your breakfast, all the uses of the facilities and $100 worth of spa credits. So it's kind of a fun thing. You might want to ask for that for the holidays.
Get out of the house.
Yeah,
right.
so isn't that a good one? And it's
Absolutely.
close, and it's one of the best, I think, in in this area. So, and it's drivable,
Interesting.
and I didn't even know about it.
I didn't know about that either.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to say before we get to our interviews, Tommy?
Just get out there and get traveling.
Yeah. So don't delay. The snow's flying, or going to fly any day.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
yeah. So thanks so much, and we'll be back right after this.
Where am I, you may ask? I'm at Michigan State University's museum, and they just opened up 2 new exhibits. I'm going to tell you all about them. Come on.
Mask Secrets and Revelations is our large exhibit for 2011, and it's a program which looks at masks in all of their shapes and nuances. Masking is a very common practice around the world, and we have in this exhibit over 250 masks from pretty well every continent on the planet other than Antarctica, and they are a wonderful portal into the expression that human beings have invested into mask making all over the planet.
They even have more contemporary masks here, like Bill Clinton, Reagan, Obama, Sarah Palin, Darth Vader, Zorro, Iron Man, Batman, Spider-Man, and they even have Sparty. But let's take a look at the other exhibit and see what they have going on there.
Well, now we're in on Death and Horses and Other People, which is kind of a really quirky name. But it's a complementary exhibit to our bigger mask program. And this exhibit looks particularly at the practices, the tradition of Czech Carnival. It's called Mazopust. And under the communist regimes, Mazopust was widely suppressed. But now with the modern democratic Czech Republic, it's having a real renaissance as people are finding their cultural roots again and wanting to express their Czechness. And the Mazopust is a great element of the traditions of the Czech people. And the traditions are captured here in a lovely array of photographs by a Czech photographer, Markéta Laskačová. And over a period of more than 10 years, she's captured a lot of the life and energy of the Czech Carnival at several locations around the Czech Republic.
Besides those 2 exhibits, they also have others that focus on more historical aspects, like this one. The MSU Museum has a total of 11 exhibits. It is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday from noon till 5 p.m. Admission is free, but donations are always appreciated. Well, that's all the time we had for today. I'm Michelle Oliver. I'll see you next time.
Well, I'm thrilled to have Tom Staudt on the show today. Just been in Australia, so I can't wait to hear all about it. He's working with WILX. He's an account sales executive. So if you are interested in getting your company on WILX, you can call Tom over at the WILX and he'll take good care of you, right, Tom?
That's right.
All right, but let's talk about what we both love, and that's travel. Tell me how you got to Australia.
Well, I was a student at the University of Notre Dame, and Notre Dame really pushes study abroad. There's a lot of different locations that they have across, really throughout the world, really over 30 locations. But I don't particularly speak a foreign language very well. And so that kind of limited my options a little bit with regards to the classes. So when it came down to making a choice, Australia was one of the English language programs, and in Fremantle on the West Coast is where we ended up going.
Which is, what's the largest city in that area?
Fremantle's in Western Australia, which is actually a state, but it actually takes up about half the country. And Perth is the capital. Perth's a little bit up the river off the coast. The coastal city there is Fremantle.
Now, what about that program? Were you an English major? Is that, or what was the program?
The program was really an arts and letters program.
Okay.
And I was actually an economics and finance major. But
interesting.
we could take some economics classes there and also get
it's an interesting
international business
economy,
feel.
Isn't it?
Well, it is. It's an interesting hybrid, really, of Europe and the United States in really more ways than just the economy, really culturally as well.
So tell me what it was like. I mean, had you been offshore before?
I had been to Europe twice, but I hadn't been anywhere near as far as that. I mean, that plane ride will take you back.
Yeah.
16 plus hours from LA to Sydney, but I mean, once you get there, it really is worth it.
It really is
It
worth
really
it.
is worth it. It's a long way, but once you get there, you don't want to leave.
But I was saying nonstop, 16 hours from LA, right?
It's 16 hours. It's about 16 hours from LA to Sydney. We took Qantas, and you try to sleep.
Yeah.
And you can sleep about a full night's sleep and still have quite some time left. But you kind of take it, you take it in
You have to watch some
shifts.
movies, you have to read a few
That's
books,
right.
you have to drink a few beers.
That's
and
right.
Then,
All of the above.
yeah, exactly. And then
All of the
take a
above.
handful of Advil and hope you sleep for 8 hours, right?
That's right.
You didn't hear it here.
No.
But in any case, so tell me what your first impression was of Australia.
It's interesting because you fly into Sydney, and we ended up transferring. We got right back on a plane to fly to Perth. But even in the airport, you meet a lot of Australians right away.
And it's like central casting, isn't it? I mean, good day and mate
Good
and all
day,
that.
mate.
I know.
I mean,
I thought that was
every-
a parody or
yeah,
something. But everybody says that.
Every corny stereotype and false impersonation, True. But honestly, I can tell you from Sydney throughout the entire trip, there is no group of people in the world that I have met like Australians.
I
They're
agree with
so genuine. And, it is a stereotype, but they really, all of them, they just want to have a good time. They want to lay outside. They want to play sports. They want to talk. They really, truthfully are just laid back, fun-going people as an entire country. And you think that's pockets and stereotypes, but it really isn't. It really is a nation of fun-loving people.
Well, I remember, when I travel, I can always tell groups of Australian people. And I had the pleasure of going to a rugby game when I was there. Did you go? Oh my God, is that sport?
Rugby and footy, actually, West Coast
footy?
the West Coast is, Sydney being down in New South Wales is very rugby, but over on the West Coast and a little bit to the south, it's completely footy or Australian rules football. So the
which is
AFL.
bizarre.
And they play them both throughout the country, but it's if you've never seen it, Google Australian rules football and take a look at that. And it's an interesting game. It's kind of a mixture of football and rugby and soccer, kind of all in one. But I mean, they go crazy for it. And
and rugby, I was really into it, but that is really a peculiar sport
It is.
anyway, and very rough.
it is.
And
But it kind of symbolizes that Australian national identity, that
Yeah.
rugged, burly men. I mean, charging straight at each other. We don't need any pads. We're going to take them out fearless.
Exactly.
You see them come out of it, whether it be footy or rugby, scars, blood, and it's very entertaining.
Very.
But at the end,
a little barbaric.
It is, but at the end, it's civilized, and they shake hands, and they go have a beer. I mean, it really is kind of symbolizing what Australia is as a people.
Yeah. Well, and it just struck me. I was at this rugby game, and there was this whole line of gents or mates in front of me at the rugby game, and they had this genuine joyfulness among themselves. Like somebody would say one thing, and everybody would start laughing. And I mean, it was just a lighthearted, like you said, take every moment and have a good time atmosphere there.
It is, and whether it's sports, but rugby or footy or cricket even. Although as an American, I will never understand that game. But whether it's sport or whether it's a competition of some other sport or even just laying on the beach, that's really how the Australian persona is, and it really is a pleasure to be around.
It is. Well, we've kind of, I think, painted a picture for everyone. So what we really need to do, Tom, is have you come back now and talk about the reality and the type of traveling that you did and what it looks like in Australia. So if you don't mind
Absolutely.
agreeing to do that, we'll be back, and Tom will be on in the future. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss it.
If you haven't donated blood before, or it's been a long time since you have donated, please come out. 97% of us will either need blood or know someone who needs blood in our lifetimes. That's almost all of us. Plus, blood is used for premature infants, patients battling cancer, people with sickle cell anemia, as well as many others. Did you know that less than 5% of the eligible population, meaning those that would be good candidates to donate blood, actually do? That's about 95% of people who could donate that aren't doing it. You never know when you or someone you love will need blood. Blood is perishable and only has a shelf life of 42 days. You can donate every 56 days, 6 times a year. Please come out and donate and give the gift of life.
Hi, Faith.
Hi, Joy.
We're back to inform the public about cruising.
We are.
And one of the things I wanted to talk about today with Faith Sutkiss from Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines are seasonal sailings and some of your specialty options, like getting married on board a cruise ship, which people used to want to do all the time and has sort of changed. Tell us about all those things.
There's so many choices, from getting married on board the ship, which would need to be done in a in a U.S. port.
So if you're in St. Thomas or you're in San Juan,
you can get married,
married
on the ship and bring all of your friends and family. Or what's really nice, the Oasis and the Allure, you can get married one day on one of the ships, the Oasis, and then have all of your family get off the ship in Fort Lauderdale and go on the Allure, so you can have some privacy. But whether it's vow renewal or putting together...
Wait a minute. Say that again. So you can get married on the Allure, like they're both in port on, say, a Saturday. Is that what you're getting at? I'm not sure I understand.
Okay, that's cool. The Oasis is in port on Saturday, so you can have a Saturday wedding.
Okay.
And send everybody, have all of your friends, all of your family on board the ship for your wedding in Fort Lauderdale. Have all of your friends and family get off the Oasis of the Seas. You take off on your honeymoon on the Oasis. Sunday, your family boards the Allure of the Seas, and they go. So you have some privacy on your honeymoon. Isn't that a great idea?
Could you do that in reverse? Where you could get married on the Oasis and they sail off, and then the next day you go on the Allure? Oh my gosh!
Either way, isn't that a great idea? Yeah.
Let me ask you something too. Could you do that, and could you have your friends and family come on board the ship and not sail? Just come on for the cruise?
Absolutely.
For the ceremony?
Exactly.
Oh, that's
we
great
would be considered a day visitor. Absolutely.
I'm glad we talked about this.
Or we have such amazing wedding planners that they can take care of everything from the marriage license. If you want to do one of those destination weddings,
get married at one of the other ports, like on Orient Beach Nude or something like
there
that.
There you go. Whatever floats your boat.
I may have given somebody a great idea. I want credit for that. But talk about, too, this is really important. Let's talk about holiday sailing, spring break, all of these vacations that are coming up that people always forget to book early.
Holiday sailings. There's Thanksgiving, there's Christmas, and there's New Year's just around the corner. And there is no better way to take all of the hassle, all of the headache out of planning dinner, buying the Christmas tree, decorating, having the New Year's Eve party, have it all on board. And it's a great, when we've been talking about multi-generational, why not take the family of all ages, because there's something for everybody to do. But the time is now to plan that holiday cruise on Royal Caribbean.
And the value. A client of mine did that. She decided that what they spent on their family, if everybody didn't do that, they could take a cruise, and in fact they did. And not only was it just what you said, relaxing, they didn't have the anxiety, it actually ended up costing less. And like she said, my kids don't remember what their grandmother gave them last year for a holiday gift.
And we decorate to the nines. We cook and serve the most amazing entrees and meals for the holidays. Even Halloween is an exciting time on board our
Jewish
ships.
Clients.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a wonderful way to, because the thing is that there's so much holiday stuff going on a lot of times that it's just a good time to be out having fun doing something else.
Right, absolutely. And we are very sensitive to all religions and all cultures on board the ship, so there's something truly for everybody.
The other thing is that, and I already know this, that spring break is outrageous. And all Michigan schools break during that same first week in April. So right now it's mid-June or mid-July as you're watching this. I'm telling you, everything's sold out for that week, except a cruise.
That's right. And the tip of the day, don't wait. Because right now it's available, but within a couple months it'll all be gone too on a cruise ship. You know, the holidays are and seasonal sailing is definitely a great advantage. But if you want the dates, if you want the categories, and you want the price, you need to book it well in advance and look at it like a layaway program. You don't have to come up with the full amount right away. you can make.
And I'm going to make that point.
Yeah.
$250 per person, hold your space.
Right.
You don't have to pay anything until 45 days out. And it's fully refundable up to that point. So you can put you can
Exactly.
hedge your bet. You're not going to make any money on $250 in the bank anyway.
There you go. Great
but
point.
you kind of have it down, and once it's on your calendar, it happens.
And exactly.
And we're not encouraging you to do this just to be self-serving, which we are. But we're encouraging you to do this because travel is one of those significant things in life. It creates those memories. You can always get stuff.
It
but
enriches your heart and your life as well by exposing yourself to new
Right.
cultures and experiences,
It's
right?
continuing education.
Right.
Yeah, so thank you so much again for giving us the opportunity to even have a show like this, Faith. And all of you that want to continue the show, you have to book a Royal Caribbean cruise.
There you go.
Thanks so much, Faith.
You're welcome.
And we'll be back right after this.
Okay, the blood drive is in a few days. Here's what you need to do to prepare your body for the best donation experience possible.
Start stocking up on iron-rich foods like green leafy vegetables, lean meats, nuts, and berries. Here's a list of iron-rich foods that you can eat. Also, avoid fatty foods a day or so before you plan to donate. Be sure to get a good night's sleep before donation day. Drink plenty of non-caffeinated beverages like juice or water before and after you donate. Be sure you eat breakfast, and don't forget about lunch if you plan to donate in the afternoon.
Thanks for your help with the life-saving mission of the American Red Cross.
You are a hero.
Packing for your cruise on Royal Caribbean International is really easy. Depending on the destination, your travel professional will absolutely guide you through the clothes that you'll need for the environment. But what I'm going to tell you is what to pack for on board the ship. Be casual and be comfortable on board the ship during the day. We want you to enjoy every opportunity to be in a very relaxed environment. Do want you to know though, in the evening we have some opportunities for you to dress up if you would like. And please feel free to bring a skirt or a jacket for the ladies. And gentlemen, nice pair of slacks and a dress shirt is perfect for the evening. We also have formal nights. And on formal nights, this is your opportunity to really express yourself with your fanciest dress and your best suit or tuxedo, gentlemen. It's a great time for family photos. But more than anything else, Royal Caribbean wants you to have the vacation that you want. So pack what's important to you. But I just wanted to give you a couple tips on what life is like on board the ship.